The best way to sell a $5,000 watch is to put a $15,000 watch next to it. That's because of something called anchoring bias, which is our tendency to rely heavily on the first piece of information we get when making decisions. Retail stores make hundreds of millions of dollars preying on this bias. If they want to sell a jacket for $300, well, they'll simply put a $1,000 price tag on the jacket, mark through it with a red line, and put $300 below it. You, as the end consumer, really doesn't have any idea how much that jacket is worth, but you saw the $1,000 and you see that you're getting it for $300, so you think that it's a steal. Now, the question you probably have is, how do you get in on some of this action, right? How do you ethically use anchoring biases inside of your company to charge higher prices for your products or services? Well, the first thing you have to understand is that everyone falls for anchoring biases, whether they admit it or not. There have been dozens of studies conducted where they take in industry experts and ask them to value something that they're an expert at, and almost every single time they fall for this anchoring bias. One of the most famous and often cited studies involves getting a bunch of real estate experts in a home along with a bunch of undergraduate students and having them guess how much a home is worth. Now, what the researchers did in order to prove this anchoring bias was they handed out pamphlets to the investors and the undergraduate students that had the surrounding home prices in that area, some with normal home prices, and then some pamphlets had artificially higher home prices, while other pamphlets had artificially lower prices. Both the real estate experts and the undergraduate students every single time gave an estimate of what they thought the home was worth based on which type of pamphlet they got. So the ones that got the artificially higher prices said that the home was worth a higher amount, where the ones that got an artificially lower price pamphlet thought that the home was worth a lesser amount. So now that you understand what price anchoring is and the anchoring bias, and you know that everybody experiences it, let's talk about some specific examples of how you can use it in your business. My favorite method of price anchoring, especially in the business to business world, is to explain to the prospects what their other options are if they decided to not work with you. At the point in the sales process when you're discussing price, you should have already confirmed with the prospect that they actually want the transformation that you're offering. So when it comes to pricing, you know the prospect pretty much has two different options here. They could work with you, or they could try to do it on their own or work with a competitor. Now, before you say how much your product or service is worth, you're going to explain those other two options of them doing it by themselves or them doing it with a competitor, and give out the amount that they have to pay for that. For example, let's say that you run a lead generation company for real estate agents. Hey, if you're getting value out of this video and you want a free way to support this channel, be sure to smash the subscribe button down below so I know you guys are enjoying videos like these. Well, once I confirmed during the sales process that the real estate agent wanted more leads for their business, and I came to the pricing portion of the sales process, I would then explain to the real estate agent what they would pay if they went out and tried to do this on their own. I'd explain to them that in order to run ads online, they'd have to hire a media buyer full-time in order to run the ads for them, and that should run them around $4,000 a month. Now, of course, you need something to drive the traffic to from these ads, so you're gonna have to hire a website designer and website creator to create an optimized landing page where you can capture the leads information from that ad, and that'll probably run you about $3,000. Finally, anybody here that's dealt with online leads before knows that just a lead is not the same thing as a qualified lead or a qualified booked appointment. So the real estate agent is going to most likely also need to hire an inner service agent team to call and qualify every single leads coming in so that they can only pass off to the agent pre-qualified appointments. That could easily run them $4,000 a month for a dedicated inner service agent. So you explain to the real estate agent that if they went out and did this on their own, it would cost them about $11,000 in their first month with no guarantee of success. Or you explain that they could work with you, only pay $1,500 a month, and get guaranteed results. So as you can see here, it gets much easier to charge higher prices for your product or service when you actually break down the value of what you're offering. Now, a quick word of warning. If you are selling to sophisticated buyers, say in the business to business space, Although they are going to fall for this cognitive bias, this pricing bias, they aren't dumb, and so you can't give them a price anchor that's just not believable. So for the example I gave you, if you're trying to explain to the real estate agent that if they hired a media buyer on their own, it would cost them $500,000 a month, almost everybody knows that that's a drastically inflated price, and it's actually going to lose the trust and credibility you have with that prospect, giving up any opportunity for a sale. Now, if you want to get access to an entire masterclass that's about 60 minutes long, totally for free, that I put together on our exact sales process that's netted us over $5 million in the past 2 years, click the link in the description down below to get access to that masterclass now. Also, be sure to watch the video on your screen next to learn our 7 most effective business-to-business selling techniques. I put a lot of time and energy into these videos, so please, if you don't mind, smash the like button, comment down any questions you have about price anchoring, and be sure to subscribe so you get notified when I put out additional videos just like this twice a week. See you guys soon.